I saw an incredible insight into this week's parasha that I'd never ever noticed before, although I've learned the parasha for so many decades. It's incredible. We read exactly the same parasha every year. We read exactly the same Haggadah on Pesach that we do every year. How is it that it doesn't become a bit repetitive? There's nothing new about it. It's the same as last year, word for word. Why is it that we seem to just be repeating ourselves? Because, of course, the Torah does not change. The Haggadah does not change. But hopefully we have changed. And if our perception of liberty and salvation is different, then the Haggadah will be different for us. And if we have changed during the year, which hopefully every single one of us has, then the parasha will be different. And therefore, I couldn't help but see so many things in this week's parasha I'd never seen before. Unfortunately, our son, as many of you will know, was buried about 6 weeks ago, and we buried his blood. His body we're still waiting to return, along with so many from Gaza. And because we essentially buried his blood-stained uniform and other blood, it's been very much on my mind. And all of a sudden, colored by my own experiences, I saw in this week's parasha that almost the entire parasha of Acharei Mot is about blood. The central piece of the avodah of the Kohen Gadol, of the high priest, is about the sprinkling of the blood of the bull, his bull, the blood of the he-goat, the blood of the sprinkling in the Holy of Holies, outside the Holy of Holies, on the Mizbeach. And of course, chapter 17, all about blood, the prohibition of eating blood, that blood must be offered only in the temple, covering the blood, etc. And I noticed something that I'd never noticed before, that the very same term for murder, shfichut damim, spilling blood, that the Bible speaks about, is exactly the same term used in this week's parasha about the atonement of sprinkling blood in the temple and on the altar. How does the Torah use exactly the same word? Sprinkling blood, meaning spilling blood, murder, and spilling blood, so to speak, sprinkling it and spilling it, shofech dam, on the Mizbeach. It seems that the only way that blood is allowed to be spilt as an atonement for murder is indeed through the Beit HaMikdash and through the service of the temple, because you see, from time immemorial, blood has been shed and spilt. In fact, the very word used in the first murder recorded in the Torah, where Cain kills Hevel, and the Torah says, Dmei achicha, your brother's blood is shouting at me from the Adamah. And what is his punishment for spilling blood? That he has to walk the earth, navanad ba'aretz, because the blood is boiling. You see, blood is not supposed to touch the ground. A way a person is supposed to pass away is that their body is turned in whole from dust to dust, so to speak, created from the earth and returning to the earth. But when a person's body is not buried, but rather their blood is spilt, that is how they die. That is something which is against the essence of the Torah. Even an animal, I noticed in this week's parasha, we're not allowed to kill an animal outside of the precincts of the Beit HaMikdash for no reason. Even if we offer a sacrifice outside or kill them for no reason, it's called shfichut damim, because you don't spill any blood onto the ground. That is murder. That is the spilling of blood. But you see, blood spilt specifically in the temple, specifically in the Mizbeach, is that which brings atonement. As the Ramban says, that when we bring a korban, it's almost as if we're bringing our own blood and our own lives as atonement for our misgivings. And therefore, the Beit HaMikdash and the Mizbeach is a place where we take blood, which so many spill recklessly and murderously outside, and the only place we can spill it as an atonement in the Beit HaMikdash. And I was thinking to myself this week, through our own experiences, so much blood has been spilt in the land, all over the land, with the murderous terrorists of Hamas. And in every single classroom, in every single room in Gaza is the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the focal point on a holy place to Islam. But really, in order to get to holiness, you have to spill blood in the most murderous, barbaric way all over the earth. That is what holiness is to you. And says the Torah, exactly not. The only place that you may spill blood, of course in self-defense you can, but not to murder others, is when you take that blood and atone in the Holy of Holies and outside in the Mizbeach, because the Jewish view of blood is atonement for our sins and for murder, and not committing a murder in the name of holiness. And please God, may so much blood which has been spilt in the land, may this be our atonement. May this be the atonement and the last of the blood being spilt. And may we merit to be able to, Bezrat Hashem, have a Beit HaMikdash where the place that the blood is spilt is only at the Mizbeach, which the sages say, says the Rambam, that we know that the very earth of the foundation stone is the very clods of earth from whence humanity, Adam and Eve, were created. And therefore, as the Rambam famously says in Beit HaMikdash, Adam mimakom kaparato nivra. The earth, the clods of earth in Yerushalayim, the temple, are the very clods of earth from where we were created. And to atone for those human beings who have lost their very tselem enosh, their very sense of humanity, by spilling others' blood on the land, we bring that blood and offer it in the Mizbech in Yerushalayim as an atonement. May those who spill blood only in atonement out of love and connection to God overcome and overpower those who spill blood recklessly and murderously in a warped sense of what holiness is all about. Shabbat Shalom.